it really points out the positive and negatives to both yin and yang. You know, the positives of being a weak person and being also a strong person. Hi Harmony Cultivators, today I'm going to be looking at weak versus strong people or constitutions. This is not based on strength, but of the energetics of the body and the spirit of a person. As I go through these, I would love for you guys to let me know below in the comments which one you think you are. So there are more specific ways to look at your constitution in Chinese medicine. However, I think for beginners, figuring out if you are a strong or a weak person is a great place to start in understanding yourself and finding more harmony in your life. And another way you can word this is looking at if you are a more yang or a more yin person. So these are general descriptions, but you should generally see that you lean towards one side or the other. So someone with a strong constitution or a strong body type is someone who rarely gets sick. One of those types of people who could be exposed to anything and everything and never get sick, or if they do, it's very mild, or they're able to recover very easily and quickly. Usually a person who has a strong body type would be someone who is a healthy to even maybe a little bit overweight, or maybe like what we would consider like big boned or stocky. These are people who may be able to push through things mentally or physically that are more difficult, or for longer periods of time, they're really able to bear more with less difficulty and maybe complaints than others. While these people tend to be very strong mentally or physically, they tend to be less emotional or emotionally driven, or less sensitive to others' emotions, or less aware of others' emotions even. So in most ways, in general, strong people or people with strong constitutions tend to be less sensitive or more resistant in mind, body, or spirit. So then when we start thinking about people who have weak constitutions, we tend to think of people who are healthy to maybe underweight. These people who struggle to put on weight or to keep on weight, or when they get sick, they lose a lot of weight very quickly. They tend to get run down easily and burnt out easier, more than their stronger counterparts. They tend to need more rest mentally and physically, and can bear less mental or physical stress. These are people who get every cold or sniffle that's going around and will have them for a long period of time. Also, because they have weak constitutions, these people tend to be more sensitive. They tend to be more aware or more in tune with their emotions, or the emotions of the people or the environment around them, or even spiritually more sensitive. Oftentimes, weak people only need a little bit of a medication or an herb, and they will have a strong reaction to it, whether it be positive or negative. Whereas people who are strong tend to need higher doses, stronger doses, more doses, to really kind of get that equal or same reaction from them. You know, when a strong person becomes imbalanced or get hurt, they tend to not really notice or pay attention. They could break their leg and just keep walking on like, oh, I think I may have gotten a bump or something, but they really aren't totally aware of maybe the damage that they actually have. Whereas a weak person will, especially through the fall or winter months, push to keep up with their stronger counterparts, and will constantly be catching colds or being run down, burnt out. Really, their body's telling them they need to slow down and is giving them red flags. However, in our society, we really lean towards valuing strong or yang people. We live in a very yang culture, you know, where we're busy and active and accomplishing things year round, or really kind of yang traits. Those who are considered weak or yin will have a hard time maintaining this kind of lifestyle or mentality than the strong people will. And that's not to say strong people wouldn't get burnt out from constant activity. We all do. However, they will be able to endure it much easier than the weaker people or the yin people. So I really find that this is a good topic to kind of reflect on. Even though it's a very simple way to understand yin and yang and strength and weakness, it can help reframe your understanding of yourself, how you conduct yourself throughout the year, and how you can make lifestyle changes to better attune yourself to the environment, to work with it and with your constitution rather than against it. One of the things I really appreciate about Chinese medicine is that it doesn't have a preference towards weak or strong, where we seem to in our current culture. It really points out the positive and negatives to both yin and yang, the positives of being a weak person and being also a strong person. Neither is considered better than the other, they're just different and also complementary. A lot of times in marriages or couples, you'd be able to identify who is the yin person and who is the yang person. Being able to better understand ourselves and being able to adjust ourselves accordingly to live in a greater harmony with the universe and ourselves. Make sure you're subscribed and following me on Instagram for more Chinese medicine content.